Marjorie Greene had yet another disastrous hearing where both Jasmine Crockett and AOC rudely ruined her attempt to conspiracize. Take a look.
The U.S. Army sprayed some sort of chemical fog over these people, basically making them lab rats in an experiment. And that's how people feel today about all types of weather modification and geoengineering. No one wants to be a lab rat. And I appreciate your comments where we only have one Earth, and we really honestly should be taking care of that.
So look, that's fine. We should. I agree. I would love for the Republican Party to care more about the Earth, but I also listened to a bunch of her on that hearing right there, and she went off at one point about how we need clean air and clean water and clean land. We don't need stuff poisoning it. And the point she was making was, let's not do the weather modification, the injection of whatever into the atmosphere. Not that like, hey, maybe we get rid of coal and fossil gas and all that stuff that's actually polluting all. No, she doesn't care about that. She only cares about the weather modification. She saw like a sci-fi movie back in the 90s and she has never been able to move past that thing. And nobody, no matter how many scientists you parade before her in these hearings, nobody can get through her thick skull about what that technology is, what it is capable of, who's actually using it. In her mind, there is like a bald Jewish billionaire in like a volcano top lair who's just twisting knobs and dials and creating the hurricanes or something, which I am almost certain is not happening. In any event, I want to turn now to slightly more positive stuff involving Jasmine Crockett responding to a little bit of this.
The Republicans have been so busy protecting pedophiles and rapists that they forgot what this subcommittee is supposed to be about. We're supposed to be talking about improving government efficiency. We're supposed to be talking about protecting taxpayer dollars from corruption. It's actually been 84 days since our last hearing. The chairwoman could have called a hearing about how this is the weakest hiring market since 2017, and we all know who the president was in 2017. We could have had a hearing on how Donald Trump's illegal tariffs are increasing the cost of living for their constituents. We could have had a hearing on why the Bureau of Prisons is accommodating human traffickers like Ghislaine Maxwell. We could have had a hearing on how the president is using the office to enrich himself and his family and friends. We could have had a hearing on how this administration is illegally stealing more than $400 billion in congressionally directed funds, but they'd rather distract you from the fact that their constituents are likely to die from their decision to cut healthcare and SNAP before some chemtrail conspiracy.
Yeah, it's just like the chemtrail thing is just so like Alex Jones 2015. It's just so old, it's played out. It's not a thing. It's not a thing that if you were to rank the environmental threats facing America or the world, it would not be in the top 1,000. And so of course, she's the chairwoman, Marjorie Greene. She can waste all of our time, waste all these scientists' time asking questions that she will not understand the responses to because it's all motivated reasoning. She's not interested in learning if she's even capable of it. She's interested in pushing already massively debunked conspiracy theories. Sharon, what do you make of this?
There's definitely a lack of a capacity issue there. Look how fast that was. Marjorie Taylor Greene earned some praise from those who tend to oppose everything she stands for her stance on Epstein. And she spoke with conviction and was pretty smart in some of the things she said. And now there's this dim-witted nonsense that she's spewing, and all that goes out the window. It's just, you're just not being credible in any way. And like you said, she does not wish to learn. And she says it with such intensity, like she just knows she's right. And she's dead ass wrong.
Dead ass
How's that
wrong.
feel? Right?
100%. By the way, in the extended thing, she was talking to these scientists about how the climate has changed over the last 150 years. And she kept trying to get them to say, well, wasn't there an ice age? I mean, it's happened over time, right? And all of them are like, yes, no, there are long-term cycles over tens or hundreds of thousands of years in the climate. And that is not what we're talking about in this last 150 years. And the way I liken it to is Lightning can strike in a forest and generate a forest fire. There are forest fires that just happen. That said, if a person lights a forest fire, you investigate and convict them. You don't just say, well, whatever, it happened naturally once. Yeah, the same sort of thing can happen. But if it happens over the course of 30,000 years and it happens over the course of 150 years, those aren't the same thing, even if they point in a similar direction. And it doesn't mean that they're caused by the same thing. And she is a full grown ass woman. How is she so incapable of understanding that? She was literally sitting in front of career experts, scientists, trying their damnedest to explain it to her, and she was incapable of it. Either incapable or just not willing. She wasn't going to allow accurate information to penetrate her skull. Now that said, let's close with just a little bit more positivity, not in the message, but in terms of actually focusing on what matters. And to that, we turn to AOC.
Do you know how many jobs have been threatened or lost due to the Trump administration's closures of clean energy projects in the last 6 months or so, the first half of this year?
I'm not aware of any such analysis.
91,000. In Colorado's 8th district, Amprius Technologies canceled plans to construct a $190 million battery plant in Brighton, Colorado. In Georgia, 12, an EV plant was canceled due to the Trump administration and DOE's freezing of the EV charging program. Registered Georgia has a population of 157 people. They lost out on 166 jobs. They lost more jobs than they have people in that town. What is the DOE's plan to replace those jobs in those affected areas?
I'll say this is beyond the scope of what I'm prepared to testify to today. I'd be happy to take the question for the record in regard to the analysis that you cited here.
Yeah, he can't really be expected to answer that because they don't have a plan. They're not gonna, those jobs are not gonna be replaced. We're just gonna drill for more like oil or whatever, get more coal. No, just their jobs are just lost. They're done. And the damage that's done to industries across America, our ability to generate our own national solar industry, we're gonna lose out on that. China's gonna take even more of a lead. The deaths of the subsidies of EVs is gonna hurt American auto manufacturers. Jobs are gonna be lost as a result of that. This is just stupid and self-destructive. Donald Trump just aimed a machine gun at our feet and held down the trigger as we shoot ourselves in the foot over and over and over and over again. And they did it for ideology. They did it because for some reason, they do not want clean energy. They despise it. They hate the idea of us tapping into the wind or the sun or whatever. It has to be coal, it has to be oil, it has to be dirty. It has to poison the air and the ground and the water, as Marjorie Greene pretends to be opposed to, but can only focus again on contrails or whatever. Any final point to you, Sharon?
Yeah, just the little chyron you put up. Embarrassing. She's embarrassed herself again. And all those who follow that bizarre science, their version of it anyway. It's just embarrassing that she's elected. Georgia, her district's right here where I am in Georgia, and it's just insanity.